Good morning, everybody. My name is Amina Brown. I am the chapter host of Creative Mornings Atlanta. So I am just so excited to see you all here. How many of you, this is your first time ever being at a Creative Mornings Atlanta event this morning? Okay, we got a few first timers. Thank y'all for coming, because y'all don't know us at all. So I thank you for just putting a little trust out there. I appreciate that. So I just want to tell you a few things about Creative Mornings and give y'all some announcements and some people that y'all can follow, because I know you want to know who you can follow. Creative Mornings is a volunteer-led initiative. So everything that you see us doing, no one here is getting paid. That's what I just want to tell you. Everyone here is doing this out of their spare time. And I am not here doing this by myself, because I would not really be this chill if I was doing all of this by myself. So there's a team of over 20 volunteers that help me do this event every month. If I have any volunteers in the house here, will y'all raise your hand for me so some people can see y'all? Yeah. So if you indeed are looking for a volunteer opportunity, I would love to speak with you. We have all sorts of things. You could do graphic design, you could do event production, you could do workshop ideas, you could do communications. Pretty much whatever you're doing, we would love to have that on the team. Okay, so yes, love to see that. I am so glad we have our volunteer team. You can follow us on Atlanta_CM. And if you're looking to use a hashtag today, our local hashtag is Atlanta_CM. Our global hashtag is #CM movement. All right, next, I want to give a shout out to coffee in general. We just want to say a big thank you to just coffee, period. But specifically, we want to thank Hot Coffee, who was our coffee partner today. Did y'all enjoy the coffee today? Okay, so listen, for the people out here who do the Keurig, is that how you say it? It's like the U really is taking me to a place. I'm like, is it Keurig? Keurig? Y'all know what I mean. Listen, they are giving away these K-Cups, okay? Part of why you came to this is because you like free stuff. Okay, so if you in an office, maybe you don't want to give those people free stuff, but I'm saying, like, you could do this. There's like only a few of these left, so please make sure you go back on the table and check that out. Also, let me tell you something else. Hot Coffee has a brick and mortar location that is over in the west side, and I actually went there, and it is so nice. It's very chic. It's leather couches over there. I don't know if it's real leather or not, but it really looks like it, and that's what's important, okay? So you can visit Bankhead Coffee, their brick and mortar location, which is at the corner of North Side and Donald Lee Hollowell. Make sure you check that out. You can follow them at Love Hot Coffee. Make sure you do that. Also, let me tell y'all about these biscuits. I want to give a shout out to Bomb Biscuits ATL. Did y'all eat the biscuits? Did you enjoy that? Was that great? Shouldn't you start your morning with a biscuit? We try to make sure whatever your dietary restrictions, we try to grab you. You're gluten-free, a biscuit for you. You're vegan, a biscuit. You're a chicken person, a biscuit. You like bacon, a biscuit. We want biscuits for everybody. We're in the South. I don't know what people want. You know, this is what we're doing. This is our cuisine, okay? So thank y'all so much for enjoying those biscuits. You too can enjoy more of Bomb Biscuits. You can follow them at Bomb Biscuit ATL. Bomb Biscuits, I actually started following them on Instagram originally. They started out as a Sunday supper club by Erica Council, who is the founder and chef of Bomb Biscuit, okay? Bomb Biscuit also serves brunch. I mean, get involved, okay? Get involved. Follow them. Do that. Okay, you might be here and be like, what is this I'm at? What is Creative Mornings exactly? Like my friend just told me to come in here. Creative Mornings is actually a global network of chapters. We are one of over 200 chapters all over the world. And each month, each chapter works on the same global theme. So all of the chapters, whether they're here in Chicago, in London, in Budapest, in Brazil, are all working on the theme movement. Creative Mornings is about gathering creatives for free breakfast and free coffee so we can connect with each other and be inspired. That's what we're about here. So we're here, but also people are doing this all over the world, which is pretty cool. Our theme this month is movement, which any of you that are doing creative work, and some of us, you may not be doing creative work in your job, but you love creative things, in your life, right? Movement is really important. Those of us who are into dance, right? Movement is important in that. Also, when we're doing creative work, the movement of our ideas, the movement of how we collaborate with one another. So we want to explore how can we use movement better, even when we think about about political movements or movements for political change, right? Movements can really change our communities and the world in a lot of ways. So we want to think about what are the ways we can incorporate that in our work more. Love to see that. Okay. Also, because no one gets paid to do this, we do want to thank our sponsors because they are the reason that you is here for free. Okay. So we want to thank MailChimp. We really appreciate MailChimp. We have them actually as a global sponsor for Creative Mornings, and we also have them as our local sponsor because they are a local company here. So shout out to MailChimp. You can look into some things MailChimp has going on. A looming question for many entrepreneurs and business owners is, how do I keep growing my business? The answer is, it depends. Everyone's business is different and various complex factors shape each one. So whether you've launched an agency or you're a seasoned freelancer, MailChimp and company want to help you unlock more ways to grow your business. So you can check out MailChimp.com. They've got some links and tips there for entrepreneurs. How many entrepreneurs do I have here in the building? Okay, yes. I saw some of you having to gently do that hand, and I feel you. Just know that I feel that energy as well, okay? So we want to give a big thanks to MailChimp. Okay, I want to make sure I'm thanking all of our local partners. What's really cool about Creative Mornings is we're not just partnering with our global partners, but we have local partners as well. So I want to shout out Off the Record. If you have watched any of our live streams since the pandemic started, if you are watching any of our videos later, they all look very crispy because of Off the Record. Off the Record is a fantastic content creation company and storytelling studio. For a fee, you too can have Off the Record help you tell a story. So all of this camera and equipment that you see here is from Off the Record. So my Off the Record people, raise your hand right here, just in case people want to go ahead and pay y'all some money today. Yes. For a fee, you too can have your videos looking amazing. Okay, now, because today's theme is movement, we're going to play a game. But I need 3 volunteers. We want to see who in here has the best moves. Is there one? I need 3 people. Okay, come on. I got one. I need 2 more volunteers who are going to come down here. Yeah, give them some love right now. They need a little courage. Okay, let me get 2 more people. I know you got moves. Just pretend like it's MJQ at night. I need 2 more people right here. Matthew, are you coming towards my stage right now? Okay, love to see it. I got one more. All right, yes. Okay, I got my 3 volunteers. Now, let me get some help moving this table because y'all going to need a little space right here. Oh, thank you so much. Wow, put you to work, didn't I? Sorry about that. Okay, so this is what we're doing here. Y'all want to make sure that y'all don't go above this line that's right here, okay? So I'm going to step out the carpet right here so y'all can just decide your space. This is what we're doing. We're going to play some music for 30 seconds. Okay? Just wanted to give you a little short time, Okay. 30 seconds, I want you to give us your best moves. I want you to really, give us the Beyonce energy, if that's what you feel today, okay? Give me break dancer, if that's the vibe, okay? Give me bachata, if that's what you do, okay? Whatever it is, bring us that for 30 seconds. Then audience, you are going to vote, okay? I'm gonna do the hand over each person, and you're gonna clap for who you think has the best moves, okay? The person who wins is gonna get a gift card to Jenny's. Okay, you're gonna want this gift card. This is some of the best ice cream that you can. That's it. Okay, all right. We're 30 seconds. Who gonna keep time for me? Who's a timekeeper? Thank you. Wow, it's a community. Okay, can you put your timer on for 30 seconds for me? And let me know when you're ready. I'm gonna give y'all a 3, 2, 1. Oh, simultaneously, yes. Just try to have a little square of your own. Just try to, okay. Our timekeeper's ready. Our DJ is ready. And we're here, okay? We're 3, 2, 1.
What's happening? Hey!
is time. Give it up for our dancers this morning. That took a lot of courage, and you gave us some things. Okay, audience, this is what I need now. I need you to really give the sound for the dancer that you feel had the best moves. Ice cream is at stake here. These are serious stakes. All right, here's my dancer number one. Audience, give it to me. Okay? Okay? My dancer number two. And our dancer number three. Okay? I mean, I think you just won a gift card to the best ice cream. Tell us your name, Leslie. And what part of town do you live in right now?
None. I live in Virginia Beach.
Boy, you are here visiting. Y'all give it up. Give it up. That's good. Give it up. Thank you. Oh, you?
Yeah, I'm with my daughter lives here.
All right now. Okay. Our team right here, Dana, you gonna go to Dana. Dana gonna get you that gift card right there. Make your daughter take you to get some of the best ice cream you ever had, okay? Seriously. And thank y'all so much for participating. Y'all are amazing. I hope that got y'all moving, honey, because that did a lot of good things for my son. Oh, we love a hug. So touching. I'm so glad because I don't have the moves, so I'm glad y'all had that. That worked out very well. Okay. Also, how many of you were here at our Adobe event last night? Did I have a few people who were here last night? Fantastic. We partnered with Adobe for last night and this morning. Adobe is actually our presenting sponsor today, and we did an event where Adobe could share more about how to use Adobe Express. Anybody use Adobe things in here? All of you? All of you? Yeah. So I wanted Sydney Lanham, who is the community manager for Adobe. Sydney's going to come up and just greet us, tell us a few things. I mean, maybe Sydney got some other things to share with y'all. So give it up. Give Atlanta love for Sydney.
Hi, everyone. If I have not met you, if you weren't here last night, my name is Sydney Lanham. I'm a community manager. This is my job. I flew all the way from New York for this and last night's event. I go to cities, I partner with local communities, and we show off Adobe Express. We show off Adobe Firefly. Who's familiar with Firefly? It's Adobe's latest, okay, cool. It's our Gen AI tool. It just launched the beta a couple weeks ago. I encourage you to sign up. It's really cool. But we're showing off Adobe's latest and greatest. The idea here is we're bridging the gap between designers and non-designers. We're making it easier to stand out, whether it be on social media, web, print, any way. Be your best self. So I saw some entrepreneur hands. Who here is a designer or maybe uses Adobe tools such as Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, some of our Premiere Pro? A lot of people. Okay. Who here uses PDF? I'm assuming. Okay, so there was a lot more hands in the question of here who uses Adobe. You all use Adobe, which is great. Adobe Express is for everybody. So if you are somebody who maybe doesn't use some of our other tools like Photoshop, Illustrator, that's me, guilty. You're probably going to use Express because it is our lightweight creative tool. It's template-based, and the templates are designed by some of the best designers in the world. It's designers we've worked with for ages, since Adobe was started to be a company, right? We have quick actions. You can create QR codes. You can remove background. You can make GIFs, whatever you want to call it. It is your one-stop shop for simple design. But if you are a day-to-day designer, you're going to use it, again, for that simple design. You don't need to be stubborn and make sure everything is done in Photoshop. We are not cannibalizing our own products. Use Adobe Express for those simple designs. Libraries speak to each other. It is powered by Photoshop, and there's a lot of excitement on the road with how we're going to integrate things like Gen AI, Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign. We are super excited to get everybody and anybody into the product, whether you are a small business to medium-sized business owner, entrepreneur, designer, educator, student, whatever it is, friends, family, everybody. So please, we have a little booth out there. If you have any questions, come chat with us. But just really happy to be here, and I think that's it. Oh, sorry. The QR code is just going to bring you to Express. You do have to download and sign in. It is a free product, fully free. If you have Creative Cloud, there is a premium version of this product. If you have Creative Cloud, you have it a part of your cloud. It is only, if you don't, $9.99 a month for the premium version, $99 for the year. So I encourage you to try it out for free. It used to be called Adobe Spark, so if you're not aware of this product, but you know Spark, it is Spark 2.0, Spark revamped. A lot of exciting things coming out, but I encourage you to get into it. And if you have not signed up for the beta for Firefly, sign up for it. It takes about, supposedly what I've been told, do not quote me on this, a week to get into it. But it's really exciting, and the future of Firefly and all of the kind of the Gen AI tools that Adobe's working on is going to be integrated into Express. So it's going to make everybody's life easier with creativity, because we're really trying to add to everybody's creative juices, whatever that looks like for you. So this will bring you to the app, but you have to sign up or use your Adobe ID to sign in. Thank you.
Thank you, Sydney. Make sure if you didn't get a chance to visit the Adobe table, you visit that on your way out. Any questions you have, Sydney and her team would love to answer you now. Are you ready for our speaker? Yeah, I'm very excited. You may have seen her work in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Miss Marvel, DC's Blue Beetle, CBS True Lies, Red One, Wolfpack, and much more. Welcome to the Creative Mornings stage stunt performer, actress, and martial artist, Jewelianna Ramos-Ortiz.
I had to take my time going down those stairs. I almost did a free stunt for y'all earlier. No pre-bono stunts. Nice to meet y'all, and good morning, Atlanta. Hey, guys. So Amina did a fantastic job hyping me up and talking about all the things you may have seen me in, but I'll do a brief introduction as well. My name is Jewelianna Ramos-Ortiz. I've been a martial artist over 20 years, and I've been doing stunt performing for film and TV for about 2 years. I've been super fortunate to end up on some really big things that I had no idea I'd be doing so soon. So life moves in very special ways, and whatever you are meant to be doing, somehow you're gonna get there. So I wanted to start off by saying that movement has been a part of my life since I was a child. I started off martial arts when I was 3 years old. Both of my parents are martial artists. They were my instructors, along with all my uncles and aunts. So it's a family affair, and I was basically born on the mats. It's been my love, but I've fallen more in love with movement, not just martial arts. So I consider myself a movement artist, not just a martial artist. And I feel like a lot of us here can agree with that. Just movement in general. Who here considers themselves a movement artist? Somewhat. Even just a movement in life. I feel like we find creative ways to do really beautiful things with our movement. And I think a beautiful thing is that it's taken me so many places. It's given me everything. The martial arts has given me my husband. It's given me my career. It's given me my friends. It's given me my family. It's given me opportunity. And I feel like we are all open to so much more when we allow the universe to move us. When we fight that universal law, we close so many doors, we close ourselves off to people, and I think that movement has given me everything, so I'm eternally grateful for it. Like I said, I started when I was 3, but when I was 15 years old, unfortunately, I had a really awful car accident that changed my life forever. I remember being in the hospital and being told that I would never be able to walk again. And since I was 8 years old, I knew that martial arts was my passion. So being told that I couldn't do the thing that I was most impassioned with was hard. I remember looking over at my mom in a neck brace. There was a sign in front of me that said, no food or water for 3 days because I was getting ready to go into back surgery. I remember looking at my mom from the corner of my eye and not being able to form the sentence, I'm so sad. I couldn't finish it. But as we can see, alas, I was relentless in my pursuit of everything that I loved, and here I am doing all of these great things because of movement. Movement is a gift. It reminds us that we are alive and that we can do things, whether it just be movement in how we think, movement in what we do physically with our bodies, movement in being flexible with life. Sometimes we get attached to, in film we call it being attached to a shot. We're set on a shot. This is what I see, this is what I want. The director says, this is the thing, we have to film it this way. But I think the most beautiful things come when a cam op accidentally trips on something and we end up getting this really crazy shot. And then the director's like, finally flexible. We're like, okay, we're getting movement. Now we're open to different things. So it reminds us that we're alive. It reminds us that there's beauty in all of those things. Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm an emotional, passionate person. Can you tell? Woo. So, along with that, I just want to say that small movement, just any movement, an inch of movement is better than a mile of intention. Sometimes we get these really cool ideas. Sometimes we get this inspiration or this motivation to do things, but we just think about it and we say, okay, I'm gonna plan out all the steps to do that thing. And we're like, oh, well, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to make that move yet. Just take that next step. You don't have to have it all figured out. You'll figure it out on the way there. Just start moving, start going. You have that motivation, you have that inspiration for a reason. Along with that, I feel like there's so much to be learned about taking those leaps of faith in our movement. Just go with it. Stop fighting that fear. You'll figure it out. An inch of movement is better than a mile of intention. Don't just think about it, start doing it. And one of my favorite things, I tend to be the kind of person that gets pretty overwhelmed. Sometimes I've had some really great people in my life just make me take a step back and say, okay, well, how do you climb a mountain? One step at a time. That's all you have to have figured out. That next step in front of you, your next breath, if that's all it takes, that is movement. Feel free to do small strides. It is still movement. I think we also live in a society, in a generation where hustle is such a talk. It's so forced down our throat. Believe me, I love the hustle. I am a fan. I live it. I breathe it. I love the grind. I love to exercise my discipline. I love to do the hard stuff. I really do. But life ebbs and flows. That is the only thing that is constant in this world. It is that there will be movement, whether it retracts and we just need to do some soft living for a little, whether we're ready to push and step into our biggest and best selves by doing the hard stuff. Life ebbs and flows, and you can be productive in all of those areas. You don't always have to live a hard life to make productive moves. So, take small strides, it's still movement. Crawl, that's still movement. Walk, it's movement. Jog, it's still movement. Run, you are moving. You don't have to sprint a marathon. You have to figure out who you are and how you move, whether it be sprints where you run really hard and you take breaks, or you run a steady jog and you go a marathon, but just move. I feel like for a long time, when I started in the industry, the film industry, stunts is very harsh. We do a lot of really difficult things with our bodies, and we're constantly learning a ton of different types of movement so that we can incorporate it into whatever we're asked to do. But there's this stigma that you shouldn't post, or you shouldn't show off, or you shouldn't say that you can do something unless it's absolutely perfect and you're the best at it. But how am I supposed to be a 20-year martial artist and compare my 3 months of parkour to somebody that's been free running their whole life? Progress is better than perfection. And we're in this generation where we're constantly being judged. Social media, all you do is scroll and build an opinion on what you're doing, what other people are doing. And we oftentimes compare ourselves to people's highlight reel. We forget that they have been dancing for 20, 30 years, and you're comparing your improv movement out on the dance floor to their 20, 30 years of training. So progress over perfection. Any movement is better than none. So that's your movement, an inch over intention. And also, I think that if anybody takes anything from this, it's that you stop fighting that universal law of movement. Go with the change. Soft or hard. Live life. Be productive, but there's no rules on your movement. Whatever it is, you can make some waves. Lastly, I just want to remind you guys that movement is a gift. If you feel like you have had the opportunity to do something beautiful with movement, I encourage you to share it. I'd love to hear you guys' stories on movement. I will be here for questions with you guys here now, all together as a collective. But if you want to personally talk to me, I love to learn from people's experiences. I love to read, so if you have things that you've written, books or such. I know that I'm aspiring to write a book one day. I'd love to hear you guys' story on movement and how it's impacted your life. I think it's a beautiful topic, and I'm so grateful that you all have brought me out here today. And thank you, Amina. Thank you, guys.
Give it up for Jewelianna. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Jewelianna's going to stay up here because we want to take some questions. So, does anybody have a question burning in your heart at this time? Yes, what you got? I'm going to repeat the question so we'll have it on camera. What style of martial arts do you practice, or styles?
Yes. So I started off with Taekwondo, ITF style, Junri style, if anybody knows what that is. But then I've gone on to practice things in the Japanese side, which is like Goju-ryu under my husband, Justin Ortiz. He's a phenomenal martial artist along with Shotokan. And overall, I generally practice sport karate, which is a performance-based martial arts. So I've competed in a circuit called NASCA, which is the North American Sport Karate Association. And I've traveled the world doing sport karate, which is, again, performance-based. But at heart, I am a traditionalist, so I've studied, and I love to learn, and I love to read and practice more of the self-defense and the traditional stuff as well.
Great question. Any other questions? Yeah. How did you make the move from doing martial arts to working in film?
That is an awesome question. So, stunts is one of those career paths that doesn't really have a path. It's kind of just, you literally get thrown into it. And so as a martial artist, again, being that I was competing in a performance-based circuit, I feel like we had a lot of eyes and attention, and a lot of sport karate, the greats end up getting into film. So when you reach that peak in sport karate, the next step is, okay, how do you continue to perform all of these skills and things that you've done with the martial arts and do more? How do you make a living from it? Because you can't make a living from competing in sport martial arts. And so just networking with the right people and getting in front of the right people. A lot of times, social media is a phenomenal way to get your stuff out there, and somebody that is looking for your specific skill set or just needs training in something will reach out. But a lot of it is just networking and talking around and being like, oh, do you need somebody? This isn't a union project, but you need somebody to hit the ground in your short? Great, I'll do it. Free to fee. We don't start off getting paid really well to eat. we go at it, and then somebody recognizes your skill and your talent or whatever it is, and then they're like, hey, I've got some people that I can connect you with. Hey, we're looking for more people that are ethnic, or we need Hispanic people for Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and they need to be able to be high-skilled swimmers. Are you okay with doing that? And then you kind of just along trickles the word.
The fee to free is really what touched me about
Yeah.
that. I'm going to go here, then up here. What you got?
Okay, tell us one thing that you do every day that keeps you on track or keeps you focused on what you love doing.
Tell us one thing you do every day that keeps you focused and or on track.
Absolutely. So I write out my purpose every single morning, whether it be I have physical notebooks that I write in, and I fill those up very quickly. Ask my husband, there's like stacks of them. But if I don't get a chance to do it on my physical notebook, I have a ton of notepads like in my phone and my iPad that I type out my purpose. And then I categorize them. So I have my self-purpose, I have my physical purpose, I have my mental purpose, I have my professional purpose, and I write and I list out all of those things every day, and it just reminds me and it keeps me on track with what my purpose is. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What you got?
Hi, appreciate you sharing your story so openly.
Oh, thank you.
Question is, my association with, when I think of like movement and stunts, it's like a precise physical performance. Whereas my association with other folks on camera, like actors, it's very emotionally driven. I was wondering like if you could share how your background and your like lived experience shows up as your like creative self-expression through like the stunt work you do.
Okay, let me try. How?
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta stretch for that one. Warm up.
How does your lived experience show up in your creative expression? Through stunts and movement. We in there. We got that.
Copy. Okay. So, being a stunt performer, I think the most important part there is being a performer. At the end of the day, sometimes we joke about it, but actors have stunt doubles, and sometimes stunties have talking doubles. We're both performers, we are both still expressing, and we are both still performing to tell a story of a character. I just happen to tell it through my physical body, and somebody else will do it through their face and their expressions. But there are stunt acting roles, or even where I'm not doubling and I can show my face, where my pain and my facial expression is what tells the story. I'm not hurt when we call it grr-arging on the ground. Like, okay, you're gonna grr-arg over there in the background for a little. So you kind of just lay there and you roll and you grr and arg and But that is what tells you that person's severely hurt. That's why they're not getting back up to fight the bad guy with the rest of the people. So being somebody that has experienced emotional pain, that has, I think we all have, just tapping into what that felt like, or why would this person's physical action be that way. And then you break down those characters just like you would break down somebody's acting character in script. So this person probably wouldn't kick because she was limping over there or where they are. So I'm gonna come in with I'm really frustrated, so before I go in, rather than just pure anger. Or you still ride those roller coasters of emotion. You start off fighting and you're going through the motions, but then it's like, oh, this person's blocking all my stuff. Now I'm increasing to that next level of frustration. So you're still telling a story and tapping into how you as a person would react to things. So you don't always start off a fight going 100% at pure anger. You still ride that roller coaster of emotions to anger, where it's like, okay, I'm annoyed. Here, I'm getting ready. Then you're like frustrated. Why is this person blocking my stuff? All right, here I go again. And then you're at that last level of I'm pure anger, rage, red. I'm not thinking. I make a dumb move. Boom. That's when you get knocked out. So you are still telling a story based off of how you as a person have experienced emotions. So yeah.
Other questions? All right, I got two over here. What you got?
Something I've come to discover later in life is this idea of neurodivergence. I'm sure there's a lot of people here who experience neurodiversity. So one of the issues we experience is that our brain is moving constantly. We're moving at 10 million miles an hour, so it's actually not movement we need. It's how do we synchronize our pace with what's going on in the world. So sometimes it requires stillness. How do you reconcile those two things, your emotional state versus your physical state? When you were laid up, you were
Forced to be
you're
still.
stuck, but your brain was like, you had so much you wanted to do, your body couldn't do. Sometimes it's the opposite experience. You want to do everything, but you have to slowly let down. How do you synchronize those?
How do you synchronize your emotional and your physical state? Yeah.
That is a beautiful question. I think that there is so much movement that puts you in different places mentally. When I want to feel a little adrenaline and I just want to be hyped up, that I go towards that movement, which will be more, say, cardio based. Or I'll go fight at the karate school, or I'll go train something that's a little bit more risky. But when I feel like my mind is 1,000 miles a minute, I'm not going to be able to use my conscious brain to do that high level movement. I do movement that slows me down. I do yoga. That is still movement. I will do a soft flow, a stretching flow. I will move my body at a slower pace that still requires my brain's conscious level to be there in order for it to be executed. Because we sometimes think that that's too slow, I won't be able to get my mind off of stuff. But if you are holding a yoga pose, you are fit. You can't be thinking about all those hundreds of things that are going on in your brain. You physically have to be like, okay, tight core, tuck in your hips, all right, squeeze your butt cheeks. All of these things, you're forcing your brain to slow down and think about all these things in order to execute slower movement, softer movement, but still requires your brain to be there. So definitely knowing what movement best fits you at the time. And you're absolutely right. I think that sometimes we hear movement and we think like the most outlandish and dancing and moving and karate and all this stuff, but sometimes movement is recognizing that we're in a stage of ebb and we need to just go with that before we can flow again and letting ourselves do softer movement. So yeah, great question, thank you.
I had one more up here. Have you taken acting lessons?
So I was a theater kid in high school and I competed. Have not taken acting classes as an adult. I haven't made the time for it yet, but I've been thrown into some stunt acting jobs or had to do some self tapes where I was like, a girl could use some acting lessons. because I've got the emotional stuff in there. I can tap into it. But sometimes I think that having actual techniques or a little bit more understanding of the art in acting, that would be super helpful and would help my career as well.
Let's take one more question. Oh my God. Okay, you're gonna be our last one, but the rest of y'all don't forget your questions because Juliana's sticking around. You can still ask this of her. Yes. Okay. Question one was what character did you double for in Wakanda Forever? Second question was how did it feel representing Hispanic and indigenous cultures in the Marvel world?
Yes, so I did not double on Wakanda Forever. So there's, in this stunt world, you can double, and there's oftentimes like double doubles, there's like multiple of us. So some will be like the fight double, some will be the tricking double, some will be the parkour double. So there's multiple of us. And then there's also like stunt performers or stunt actors. So stunt performers is like that one chick that is running out of the bar when they get into a bar fight and then she trips and she falls in the background and then she gets up and keeps running. We're the atmo, we're that texture in the back. And then there's stunt acting, which is you are a character, you are a role. You do have to study who you are and how you're going to portray that story. And then you have action. So I was a stunt actress on Wakanda Forever. Unfortunately, that scene did get cut, but it was a beautiful scene. But this movie, just a little like insight, Black Panther had filmed for over a year. Because unfortunately we did lose Chadwick Boseman, and so instead of trying to, they basically finished filming. We were like at the tail end of it, and when we lost him, instead of finishing with CG and doubles and putting dots on their face, Ryan Coogler, he rewrote it brand new. He sat down, went to the writer's room, and rewrote the script to tell the story of how he passes, and then Shuri becomes the next Black Panther. And in that, we just had a ton of extra footage and whatnot. I was one of Namor's scientists, and so we are underwater in the Talocan City, and we plug in, we create the sun underwater, and it is made of whale ribs and organs and intestines, and it was this big beaming light, and we were doing what is called dry for wet work. So we have to study what it looks like to move like a underwater person, but we are dry on a winch, on a rig, and in our harness they lift us up, and then we pretend like we're swimming and we move, and we basically had action where we were telling the story of hooking up the sun underneath the ocean and in our own city. And so in the movie you'll see Namor, he takes down Shuri, they're in like their little suits, and he swims her down there and he goes, "This is our city, we even have the sun down here," and he like points, and it's this little gleaming dot in the corner. And if we would have explored that world, that is where I would have been. That's where my scene was filmed. But because the movie was already super long and we had to tell so much of a story in order to connect things and be able to film the rest of Marvel, that scene did get cut out. But it was an absolute honor. I remember being in the van when they had put on my prosthetics, like my gills, and like it was based off of the Mayan culture, and I consider myself a water baby. I'm Puerto Rican. I very much Taino background, which is in the Puerto Rican indigenous people, and being able to tap into that and be dressed in like, oh my God, Ruth Carter, she won an Oscar for her costuming. Beautiful. Like when I walked into wardrobe for my fitting, I was like, oh my God, it goes beyond any production I'd ever been on. She had like out of silicone made a ton of like fish-like things. We had crustacean armor made out of like things that looked like crab shell. There was actual seashells on my costume. I had like things flowing out of my dress, and it was beautiful. So like being able to feel like a real water person, which is what I feel in my roots, like I naturally am. It was beautiful to tap into that. And I remember like being in the van, sending my family like photos, like holy shit. Can I say that? Ooh.
Yes, it was grown people.
I kind of censored myself towards the end of it. But yeah, it felt great.
That's amazing. Give it up for Jewelianna Ramos-Ortiz. Juliana, will you come with that bag? So I want y'all to know that when we have speakers, whether it's our morning event or our evening event, they come here out of the goodness of their hearts to donate their time. None of the Creative Morning speakers globally are paid anything. So we know we can't pay you the big bucks, but we wanted to give you just a little bag of some Atlanta things, a little something from us to you to say thank you for sharing your story with us and giving your time to us. Give it up for Jewelianna. Jewelianna. Jewelianna is going to be here hanging out for a while. So ask good questions and say really complimentary things to her for her giving her time to us. Thank you so much. I wanted to give a thank you and an announcement, and then I want you to be able to hang out with Jewelianna and ask her all the things. I want to thank Plywood Place for hosting us.
Heck yeah, this
It's
is
amazing, right? This is a co-working space, but Plywood People also has entrepreneur incubators. They have space here where your business can have space here. You can do events here for a fee. See the Plywood People about that. You might be wondering, when are y'all having this again? Next month. The last Thursday of the month is May 25th. We have an evening event every other month that's called Creative After Hours. So in that regard, the theme you will actually get to do. So I'm giving you a little sneak peek. Our theme for May is acceptance. We are doing art station installation. You will get to come and experience sound bath. You will get to come and do some writing, do some drawing and things around the theme of acceptance. So make sure you pay attention to our socials and newsletter. Get your tickets for that. And it's going to be free food and drinks. I know you want that too. Okay? Thank y'all so much for being here. Thank you, Jewelianna, for joining us. We'll see y'all next month.